Hi, this is Renee Stanley from Movie Review Relay, and today we're talking about Elvis, we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, Miss Marvel, and the black phone. That's right. Okay. I'm gonna hurry up because if you've seen some of my other videos, we gotta get finished before either the bugs come, the rain, or it just gets too hot for the old lady to be out here. That's right. Okay. So, I have to tell you, I went to the fan night. Now, some of you guys have been to fan nights before. You know what it's all about. You get the most enthusiastic fans. And I have to tell you, when the movie first began, you see Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa, Priscilla, his wife, and then some of the cast. And the cast is telling us that they enjoyed doing the picture. More importantly, Lisa Marie says to us, the audience, so many people have wanted to make movies about her father, Elvis Presley's life. But this is the first one that she felt has got it right. And for the daughter to say that is a wonderful thing. And being a musician from New York, I have to tell you, so many people have been taken advantage of in the music industry, in the film industry too. But these people that make music, they have a quicker entry into the entertainment business because they can use their raw talent. They don't need a film crew, a production budget, the whole thing. So musicians are normally taken advantage of. Doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what color you are. And in Elvis's case, he was a white musician. The people who hired Elvis to record his first record specifically wanted a white man who sounded like a black singer, okay? So Elvis, being 19 years old or however old he was, you feel like any 19-year-old musician would feel, I got a chance to shine. I have a chance to display my talent. The world will see me. You have all these bright dreams and bright hopes. It's a little naivety. You're a little naive to begin with. But then when people are giving you this big opportunity, how could this man turn it down? Okay? Now, I'm not telling you to feel sorry for Elvis, because when I came out this movie, there was a little sadness. I felt for him. And me being a black woman, I've had it just as hard as anyone else. The story of African Americans who have suffered, there have been a lot of blacks like myself, African Americans who have suffered through periods where we didn't have any generational wealth. Well, he was Elvis, a white guy. Yeah, he was poor. He grew up in the Depression era, well, post-Depression, I should say. But here's the point. He grew up around black poor folk. He was a poor white. His father had been sent off to jail. His mother didn't have many skills, so she was kind of struggling along with people of color. Yeah, black folk. So Elvis got all this exposure to music, to culture within the black community. And the black community that went to the Pentecostal churches, they had the tent meetings, not the few bourgeois. There always was some bourgeois blacks now. People don't understand that, but there was. But these were black folks that were living in cabins and outhouses and things like that. So these are the people who basically raised him in the community, and this is all he knew. He wasn't educated. At the time, I think he signed his first record. He was a truck driver, but he never really had the education to read a contract. Very few people do, okay? That's why they ask you for lawyers. But when these young people are so eager, they call it hungry, to get these contracts, they don't want to rock the boat, kinda. So whatever's offered to them, they just take it. Yeah, that's what they normally do. They just take the first offer, whatever it is, all right? So as it turns out, the movie begins with the person who is the big bad, the heavy, the Colonel. And the Colonel is Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is almost unrecognizable. I didn't like the prosthetics they had on him. I think that Tom Hanks is as good as actor as you can get. And he could have portrayed this villain without us seeing all of these the fake nose, the fake chin. You'll see. When you see it, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think he could have pulled it off without doing that. But for whatever reason, there was a lot of prosthetics on him. So I don't know if I would have approached it that way if I had such a great actor as Tom Hanks, 2 Academy Awards, the whole 9 yards, you know. But anyway, this is what we have, all right. So the Colonel is recounting his life. He lived longer than Elvis, by the way, this goofy man, this big overweight man. I think Elvis died at 42, and this man lived many years. See those bugs? See what I'm talking about? This is what makes me mad, all right. I did spray, all right, around here, but I don't know. All right, so anyway, so Elvis is now dealing with this Colonel who's taking 50% of his money. Yeah, 50%, not 5%, 50%. I guess the family sued years later and they were awarded in settlement. And of course now, I don't think he gets any part of the Elvis Presley estate. But can you imagine? 50%? Yeah, all right. So anyway, this is a good movie. If you are a musician, you're gonna love it. If you're an Elvis fan, you're gonna adore it. And if you just want good entertainment, it's fine, but you have to love music. You wouldn't go see a musical if you didn't like music, right? Because it's littered with all kind of music that influenced Elvis, and it even has some contemporary tracks thrown in there. Some of it is Elvis' voice. Some of it is the guy who's playing Elvis's, the actor who's playing Elvis, which is Austin Butler, okay? So you're gonna, it's a mixture of both of them. The cast is great. You're gonna have a problem though with the editing, because what this film does that's very unique, well, it's not unique, but it's different, is it's a biopic that throws in a lot of cultural influences that were happening at the same time that Elvis was recording certain records. So you will constantly see a flash of headlines that were real headlines that were in the paper at the time that Elvis had these big hits. And it gives you a broader perspective on what this gentleman, Elvis Presley, had to go through, and God forbid what his family had to go through too. And the Colonel sees Elvis and he says, "Oh my God, this is the best carnival attraction I've ever seen." Yeah, he does. Which goes to show you, he never ever thought Elvis was a person. He just thought he was he dehumanized him. He thought he was a carnival attraction, like an elephant or one of these donkeys or the bearded man or whatever it is. If you ever go to the carnival, you see all kind of stuff. So he never really respected Elvis. All he saw was a way, just like they do in a circus, promoting people, promoting things, and oh, this is something different I could promote and make some money with. I don't think he ever thought Elvis was a person, and how can I nurture this young man who basically was underprivileged. I know people are saying, well, he had the white privilege, which yeah, he did. But in that day, just like today, if you ever look sometimes whites turn on whites. Yeah, it happens. And it becomes even more devastating. Well, nope, I can't say more devastating. I take that back. Because nobody's had it as bad as African Americans. That's why we're behind with generational wealth. But I will say, it had to be very hurtful to see these white men, older white men, going after this young white guy when he thought, all I'm doing is expressing myself. And man, right now, we wouldn't think anything of it. We look at him and say, all right, there's a bug. All right, okay, it's gone. We would look back and we would say, oh, that's nothing. But back then, shaking your hips like that, they call it wiggling. But you know what I mean. Yeah, he was too much. So I think a lot of these white men especially saw these white women very attracted to Elvis. Yeah, they probably said, well, he's going to take my woman. Yeah, we got to stop this. So they were like, yeah, I don't want to misquote some of these headlines. They were like, you're putting the white man on a level with the Negroes. His wiggling is perversive and it's dividing the nation. Yeah, him wiggling his hips is dividing the nation. This is the kind of silliness you hear today. It's awful that you would have heard it 60, 50 years ago, all right, during the 1950s. Colonel tried to control Elvis, tried to stop them hips from moving, but Elvis felt the music. And anyone who's a musician, it's hard to listen to good music. Yeah, it's hard to listen to good music and not, express it with your body. I think anyway. Yeah, that's right. Right. Elvis had it hard in that respect. Yes, I feel sorry for him because, and okay, with the whole thing about blacks, I feel sorry for myself too. Yeah, I do. But I saw this man empathetically as someone who was never happy because this, not just that the colonel took advantage of him, but the impact that him taking advantage of him meant. If he were able to give this man 50% and his life was happy, that would be fine. Because he was making a lot of money to begin with. However, his marriage deteriorated, I should say. And of course, he was separated from his beautiful daughter. There's just so many things that come with a fall from grace. It's not just the money, it's the emotional bonds that you lose. That's just the way it is. All right. You'll enjoy this film. As I said, it starts off with the colonel, but it ends full stop Elvis. Yeah, you actually see real footage intermittently throughout the film at the end there. And you hear the headlines when he died and what he went through. Now, you guys might say, oh, Renee, you're telling stuff again, you're spoiling it. No, how can you spoil history, baby? Unless you just don't read a history book. You don't know anything about these historical figures. Okay, but anyway, yes, Elvis easily gets a 4 out of 5. Go see Elvis. I think you'll enjoy it. I did. That's right. Okay, so Austin Butler played Elvis. Tom Hanks plays the Colonel, or knucklehead. But it was good. You'll love it. All right, here we go. Warner Brothers, I think, produced it. But that's okay. We'll put it in the description. All right, so until we meet again, it's Renee Stanley for Movie Review Relay. God bless.